Who are your saints? Who are your role models? Who are the people in your life who touched you, who loved you, who cared for you, who saw the potential in you, who cheered you on, who supported you, who were with you in challenges and in celebration? Who are those people in your life? When Jesus is talking about letting light shine, letting our light shine, and reflecting his light, you see that spark, you see that light shining in and through people as they're present, as they're loving. The image I often get is this lighthouse. The lighthouse standing, especially visible in the dark, shining when it's getting stormy and treacherous, when you're looking for home, when the darkness is around and you can't see clearly, the light is shining. And some people in our lives are like those lights shining. Our Quaker sisters and brothers describe it as the inner light. There is a light in each and every one that is shining and that we can let shine, or that we can cover up like with a bushel, as that other passage of Jesus describes. So who are these role models, these heroes, these stars in your life? To someone else, they may be just Jane Doe or Joe Schmo, but to you, they matter because they touched you, because they're so much part of your life that today you want to say thank you. Thank you for them. Now, some of the people that shaped me, as we think of, one is my mother. One is a wonderful friend with whom I grew up next door. One was a mentor, like a coach. I was like apprentice to him in ministry, learning, being guided, being supported in and through it. And one definitely is my wife. She's putting up with me. She's one of the saints, the heroes. You know, sometimes I think it's so easy to live with me. It's not true. It's not true. Yeah. The one thing I invite you today to reflect and to remember, that you are not separated from your loved ones now. The ones whom we remember today, the ones who died, yes, they died. Their physical being is gone. But we're not separated from them as long as we keep remembering them, as long as we count blessings, as long as they're real in us still. And my golly day, there are many blessings I count from many people in my life. They're very real, very present. I remember May Laudensliger, one of the dear, dear, sweet, sweet ladies here of our congregation. She and her husband, Alan, were just like two peas in a pod, just one heart, one soul. And after Alan had died, May kept talking to Alan. So she came to church, and then she went home, and she told Alan what happened here at church. And when she came and helped here with a turkey supper, when she was out going about and getting something done, she came home and talked with Alan about it. And when I visited her and we had a conversation, she asked, "Is that normal?" I said, "Yeah, it's okay. Nothing human, no feelings, no thoughts, no brokenness, nothing is foreign to God." Jesus has been there, in it, with us, and through us, in and through the thicket. I think one of the great gifts, besides saying thank you and celebrating today, and feeling the love and reliving those moments and embodying again these moments in our lives, one of the great gifts we can give ourselves is if we give ourselves permission to be sad and to grieve. Give ourselves permission to grieve and to be sad. Now, why does that matter? It is like this grain of sand that comes into an oyster. And the friction and the frustration and the irritation and the hurt and the pain in going in it and living with it and dealing with it, one of these irritants can be transformed into a pearl. Or beach glass, how does it come about? When a bottle is broken, any glass that is broken falls into the sand, and the waves come and they wash it. And sometimes grief is like waves. There are times when I tear up, when I think about my mother, and then I feel like, it's becoming too much. And then I breathe out, and then the waves go back. And through the waves, through the grace of God, the sharpness, the pointiness of these shards can get washed down and sanded down and become beach glass, beautiful. What I always love about Jesus is that he is so real and so human and so present. Jesus had friends, yeah. In addition to the disciples who followed him day in and day out, he had friends, and three of those friends were Martha, Mary, and Lazarus. And he visited often in their home, and one day Lazarus was very sick, and they called for Jesus, but Jesus was held up. He said, "Well, he's not that sick. I'll come later." Well, it happened that Lazarus died in the meantime. And when Jesus arrived and realized that Lazarus had died, Jesus is tearing up. He's tearing up and he's weeping. If Jesus is doing that, someone described tears as prayers without words. Prayers often, we don't need words. It's okay to just be and feel it deeply and live in and through it. Who are your saints? Who are your heroes? Who are the people who touched you, who shaped you as a coach, as a youth leader, as a partner, as a grandparent, as someone whom you treasure today and someone you may miss very much? Who are they in your lives? Will you thank them? And if they're alive, you can let them know, thank you for being that person. And will you pass it on?